it perfectly makes sense, doesn't it? We just got back from a lovely Airbnb trip. It was half lovely because my darling husband could not come because he has had a fever for 6 or 7 days. Our son had a cough like sickness and he handled it pretty fine. But then my husband got it and he has been like down bad. It's 2 days since I filmed this. He was diagnosed with pneumonia and he is on day 3 of antibiotics. He's doing better, but it was pneumonia. Then last night when we were heading to bed, my son got this look on his face. He grabbed his throat and looked at me all pale and was like, I was like, oh my God, are you gonna puke? Puke he did from 11 p.m. every hour on the hour until 4 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't sleep. Then for the last week, I've been having chest pains. Could be anxiety. I thought I was having a heart attack the other day. We're going to the doctor today. There's just been a lot going on and I need to go get taken care of because this is crazy. Like as soon as I was laying in bed and like I had pain in my left arm and like chest pains and I was just feeling like, oh, I don't feel right. I was like, yeah, no shit. It perfectly makes sense, doesn't it? I'm literally obese. That's how you get heart issues. You are sedentary, babe. I've talked about this for years. I can't with it. I am annoying myself to a degree that's like, no, it's so annoying. Just do it. So I'm getting checked out today. I'm gonna go get an EKG and talk to the doctor about my blood work and like the HSCRP or whatever that I got when I did that function health blood work. So I'm gonna bring that and just have them look at it and see if I can, I don't know. I just don't want to be like missing something. Everything online is like, it's better to go to the doctor and have them say it's not a heart attack or heart issues than it is to not go and just think it's anxiety and then it was heart. So we're going. Come with me to the doctor. Ready for my EKG.
Looks like you're here for some chest pain.
Yes.
And some back pain and left arm pain.
Just in general, it's been over a week.
Over a week?
It's just off and on.
Okay.
I have anxiety
Yeah.
and health anxiety, so I don't know what's real.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I had that happen so many times. I'm nervous that they found something.
Oh, no, your EKG looked good.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
She just did it so many times. I was like, oh God.
It just kept saying low voltage and some low leads, so we just want to make sure it was, but it's fine. Yeah.
God, I thought you were like, you're having a heart attack.
No.
Currently.
No, everything else in that looked good.
Oh, that's good.
Tell me about the chest pain.
Well, I don't normally get chest pain with anxiety.
Yeah.
I get nausea, I vomit, I feel panicky, heart racy type of. I have an anxiety disorder. I'm on escitalopram. I take lorazepam as needed, which is like maybe 4 times a year. Like, I really try not to take it. It's just hard because I hate chalking everything up to anxiety because then I don't know where. Because I don't normally get chest pain with anxiety. I've never had that before, but I have friends who have, so they're like, oh yeah, that's anxiety. And I'm like, it's just, I feel like women always get passed off as anxiety. So I'm like, please don't.
EKG is what your heart is doing in this moment. So it doesn't completely like say, hey, this was never your heart. This was, let's say anxiety, GERD, whatever else is. But in this moment, your heart looks fine. And oftentimes, if there was, let's say, a heart attack like 2 days before, because the biggest thing we worry about with chest pain is ischemia. It would show, most of the time it does show something that says, hey, previous MI or something abnormal.
And it doesn't say that?
No.
Okay.
Everything looks great.
Okay. I have a heavy midsection, which is heart attack. You know what I mean? Like all the bad
risk factors, yeah.
So yeah, that's why I get nervous because I'm like, but
Mediterranean lean, like that's like fish, whole grains, nuts. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Let us know if you have any other questions. But Mediterranean diet.
Mediterranean. Diagnosis: fat and nervous. So basically, Mediterranean diet, lose weight, and no more excuses. Walking every day, walking after meals, eating lower fat, higher protein and vegetables and fruit. The shit I already know. It's a choice, and I'm making that choice every single day with every single bite that goes into my godforsaken mouth. So I am going to go to the store right now, get some food, and no more excuses, brother. No more excuses. Lock in, RBK! pizza? I never had you.
Later that same evening.
I got my son's tummy bug. This was my breakfast this morning. It was a smoothie with strawberries, Greek yogurt, PB2 powder, and probably about half a cup of Great Northern beans. And I blended it all up, and it's very filling and really yummy. So lunch is a sweet potato with Great Northern white beans mixed with a smoked barbecue chicken that I got from a local store that's already been pulled, red onions, cilantro from our garden, barbecue sauce, jalapenos.
Cannot go that way, the way that my mom's walking. If we go right, then that will take us to the city. If we go left, we'll go all the way around in the circle. Very smart.
This video has been a jumbled mess all over the place. I'm gonna catch you up to speed. I could not sleep last night because I had such bad indigestion. Like, the indigestion is next level. But then I was like, why? And then I looked at what I ate yesterday, what you just saw me eat. For breakfast, I had a smoothie with beans in it. Don't get me started on beans. For lunch, I had a potato, sweet potato, covered in onions, indigestion-y, jalapenos, indigestion-y, more beans, indigestion-y, barbecue sauce, indigestion-y. It makes like perfect sense why I had indigestion, but my mind could not wrap its head around it. I was like up all night sick. Not sick, I just didn't feel good, but like after a tummy bug to eat all those beans as my next meal, it just doesn't, it's so silly. I literally had a fever. I was in the bathroom all day, just not feeling good. I couldn't keep anything down. Everything sounded gross the day before that. So like, yeah, it makes sense that I have indigestion. Even though it makes perfect sense that I have indigestion, right? My mind is like upper back pain, heart issues still. This is the nature of having health anxiety, OCD, anything like that. Like if you have these obsessive thoughts, obsessive worries, this is just the nature of it. So I'm definitely going through it right now. I've tried not to share about this for like about the last year on YouTube, and it is such a huge part of my life that it feels so disingenuous not to share about it. I don't like it because it's weaponized against me a lot on the internet. Anytime I talk about anxiety, anytime I talk about having hypochondriasis, I'm just really torn down by the internet. And at this point, I'm torn so low that like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to allow it to be. So yeah, it's definitely in a huge flare up right now of health anxiety. My son getting sick with a cough, then my husband getting that same cough and pneumonia, missing our trip, coming home, me getting chest pain on the trip, probably because my husband wasn't there and it's related to anxiety, getting an EKG. That same night, son got really, really bad stomach virus. I got a really bad stomach virus. And then the news is everyone's talking about cyclosporiasis and all this kind of stuff. So in conjunction with all of this, it has been a really tough week for somebody who is very, very overly obsessive about symptoms and experiences and feelings. So probably not the best idea on day one of my new eating plan to eat all beans and a bunch of jalapenos, but I did. So forgot I ate the jalapenos. Honestly, that would make a lot more sense. Plus I wasn't drinking enough water after my viral illness. So where am I at today? I've had 2 little apple sauces and maybe like 6 cashews. And I made a smoothie with banana, PB2, and coconut milk. Oh, and a few chia seeds. I took a few sips of that and I can't, it's too thick and it feels like it's gonna just bubble guts. So I've had 2 apple sauces today and I just don't feel hungry. And my stomach is just really, really indigestion-y. It's like real upper backish, all that stuff. So while you've got the worst audio in the world right now because I'm in my bathroom and I'm sorry, it just is what it is. I'm either gonna put YouTube videos up or I'm not. I'm gonna be focusing on a very Mediterranean heavy diet. If you don't know what that is, basically like it's like fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, seeds. No, not a lot of butter, dairy, or anything like that. Whole grains. It's like basically what we know is healthy, you know? And some meats, like lean meats, fish, chicken, things like that. less beef, more lean. And just overall, they say that of any diet that's ever been, this is the healthiest. And like, look, I want to just say one thing real quick, because I'm so painfully aware of how many times I've done this and how often I have had this kind of conversation on YouTube of like, I'm going on a diet. I'm not trying to do that. Look, studies have shown I fail at diets. Not because I can't do them, but because I don't. I'm not prioritizing it. But there comes a point where you are like, there's an age where this is like acceptable, almost like your 20s. You get to as old as I am, I'm 38, and you go, yeah, this is like the do or die time, you know what I mean? So this is where people start getting health conditions that like, they're not reversible now because you waited too long. And so I went for a walk yesterday, I went for a walk today. I started my brick also yesterday because when I had this tummy bug 2 days ago, I laid in bed all day long. I never do that. On my phone for 12 hours. If you follow Instagram stories, you would have seen all of this. So bad addicted to my phone again. I'm just in a bad spot, like with everything. I'm just really have let a lot of things go. My husband getting sick and having to go on a trip without him, like that is just knowing me, like I just like codependent, but we've been together for 21 years. We do everything together. We work together. We hang out with our son together. Like we do everything together. We garden together. We have another YouTube channel together. So going on a literal trip without him and just having it be me and my son and my other friends, of course, it was weird. I didn't like it. I missed him the entire time. And knowing he was at home with what we didn't know was pneumonia at that time, but I suspected because of how bad he sounded, just put me in a rough mental spot. And so what happens when I get into a rough mental spot? I start getting insomnia again and I start just kind of spiraling. So in past times when I have gone through a rough flare-up with my really bad health anxiety or hypochondria, I've talked about it. If you guys want to know more about it, I have a full video about it. I'll link it. I find that one of the best ways to get me out of the rumination, the obsessive thought cycle and spiral is art. It's weird and it doesn't seem like it would work, but if I just like really start doing a crap ton of art, it helps me a lot because it's really almost impossible to overthink when you are thinking so hard about how hard it is to do pottery, let's say, or how hard it is to paint a picture. You're really focused on what you're doing instead of focusing on your bodily symptoms or sensations, you know? So I'm just gonna focus heavily on starting to do art. I have a lot of vegetables to put in my freezer that we harvested yesterday out of our garden. If you guys are interested in the gardening content, I'm gonna link our other channel up here. It's right here. It's called The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi. We are trying to grow as much food as we humanly possibly can. We are having so many issues. Mice ate the tops off of almost all of my carrots and half of an entire bed of potatoes. So frustrating. Go follow over there if you guys are interested in checking that out. But yeah, it's been when I go through these, I don't like to share about stuff like this anymore. Like I said, it's really weaponized against me. People fucking hate me on the internet. At times people have treated me like shit about it. So I said about a year ago, like I'm gonna quit fucking talking about this. And yeah, I don't really necessarily want to even start talking about it again. It's just so relevant to my life in this moment that to sit down and do just a straight makeup video feels disingenuous right now. However, I do have 2 makeup videos that I'm very eager to film. I went to Target yesterday. I'm not going to Walmart because that's the only 2 makeup stores that we have around here. If I wanted to go to Ulta, it would be like quite a long drive to get there. But Walmart, everything is locked up now. You literally cannot just go pick out makeup. And that is the point of shopping for makeup. I'd have to have an associate walk around with me for what, an hour? Absolutely not. So I went to Target. I picked out a whole bunch of different makeup because I am going to do a video on dupes for Charlotte Tilbury because Charlotte Tilbury recently made a statement being like, buy dupes, you dupe the consumer. And I'm like, Charlotte, not today, babe, because we've got some issues with you being out of touch, but also we need to talk about her cruelty-free status, which is, but I also have another video coming out on the Too Faced Peach collection. I'm very excited to try that and talk about it and go over kind of like the history of what Too Faced has gone through and all that kind of stuff and kind of do a deep dive like I used to. So yeah, I have some videos coming up that'll be really focusing my attention, but yeah, it's just, I'm in an absolute like flare up right now of bad. So I'm gonna try to get on the right track. I'm trying to do all the things I know for myself, drink a lot of water, walking, not Googling. I haven't been good at the not Googling, but I'm done with it now. Bricking my phone. I bricked my phone for like almost 14 hours yesterday, and today I'm on like hour 7 or 8. So it is definitely helping me stay off social media a lot. And yeah, that is where we're at. I know that these like health updates can be very frustrating and annoying because I know how they are. It's like, just do it and quit talking about it. Trust me, this is why there is that's why this is a thing. That's why you constantly see people like trying and failing, and it's embarrassing to try and fail on the internet, I'll tell you that right now, but I can't let embarrassment stop me from continuing to try and document, because that's what I do. So yeah, I'm not really embarrassed about it because yeah, it's hard for everybody, which is why there's an obesity epidemic in America, because it's hard. And you know, yeah, I'm an emotional eater. I have an eating disorder. I know it for sure. I know it, but I'm just going to try to keep trying, because giving up isn't an option. So you got to keep trying, right? So here we are. Anyway, yeah, starting off at 192, which is kind of basically where I've been. The other thing is that I can't really eat right now. So I'm like having a hard time because the indigestion is just so bad. Again, because I have obsessive thoughts and hypochondria, my mind is like, it's not indigestion. You have an undiagnosed health problem. You have a heart problem. The internet says, don't just assume. And then the doctor's like, well, EKG really only shows us what's going on right now. It's like, well, what do I do? And I don't know the answer. So I'm just kind of suffering in this moment because this is how it goes. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.